Most cruise passengers make at least 3 of the mistakes on this list, not because they are careless, but because nobody told them the rules before they boarded. And on a cruise ship, the rules are different from anywhere else you have ever traveled. Some of these mistakes cost you money, some cost you comfort, and a few of them quietly affect the quality of service you receive for the entire voyage without you ever realizing why. Today, we are counting down 15 things you should never do on a cruise ship. And we are building all the way to number 1, because that final mistake is the one that affects every single passenger on every single sailing, and almost nobody catches it until they are already home wishing they had known sooner. Stay with me all the way through. Every item on this list comes with exactly what to do instead, so you board your next ship with the confidence of someone who has already made these mistakes and learned from them. Hit subscribe and the like button, and drop a comment. Which of these have you already made? Now let's count them down. Number 15. Never ignore the daily planner the night before. Most passengers pick up the daily planner in the morning, glance at it over breakfast, and miss half of what the day had to offer. The afternoon tea listed quietly at 2, the complimentary enrichment lecture at 10, the themed buffet running for 2 hours only. By the time they notice, the window has closed. The daily planner is your roadmap, but only if you read it the evening before, when you still have time to plan around it. Every night before bed, spend 5 minutes with the next day's schedule. Circle 2 or 3 things you genuinely want to do and note the times. That one habit changes how much value you extract from every single day on board. Number 14 is a mistake most passengers make before they even unpack, and it quietly causes friction every day for the rest of the voyage. Number 14. Never wait until day 3 to tell your cabin attendant what you need. Your cabin attendant services multiple rooms on a tight schedule. They are skilled, attentive, and genuinely want to get it right. But they cannot read your mind. Passengers who say nothing on the first day and then spend 3 nights sleeping on the wrong pillow, or waiting for a refilled ice bucket that never comes, or dealing with air conditioning that is too cold, have nobody to blame but themselves. On the first day, within the first hour of meeting your attendant, tell them 3 things: your preferred cabin service time, whether you want the ice bucket refilled daily, and whether the bed or pillow setup needs adjusting. That one conversation sets the tone for the entire voyage. Everything you ask for on day 1 becomes a quietly running service for the rest of the trip. Coming up at number 13, a mistake that costs passengers real money and happens in the first 20 minutes on board. Number 13. Never head straight to the buffet on Embarkation Day. Embarkation Day buffet is the most chaotic space on the entire ship. Thousands of passengers boarding simultaneously, limited seating, long lines, and a general atmosphere of organized confusion. Most passengers go there by default because they do not know there is a better option. The main dining room is almost always open for lunch on Embarkation Day, and almost always empty. Sit-down service, a proper menu, calm atmosphere, and no wait. While everyone else is fighting for a seat at the buffet, you are having a relaxed plated lunch and making your dining reservations for the week through the app or the dining desk. That is how experienced cruisers spend the first 2 hours on board. Go directly to the main dining room. Ask if it is open. It almost certainly is. Number 12 is something most passengers do every evening without realizing it is quietly limiting their entire dining experience. A passenger on his 4th cruise discovered on the final night, when his table mate mentioned it casually, that he could have been ordering 2 appetizers and 2 desserts every single evening at no extra charge. He had self-limited every dinner of the voyage out of habit without realizing it. Number 12. Never order just 1 appetizer and 1 dessert in the main dining room. The main dining room is not a restaurant where you pay per item. Your fare covers everything on that menu, and that includes ordering 2 appetizers if you cannot decide, asking for a dish. The kitchen served the night before, or having both desserts because you want to try each one. Most passengers treat the dining room like a restaurant at home and leave significant value on the table every single evening. The next time you sit down for dinner, tell your waiter, "I would love to try 2 of the appetizers tonight." Watch what happens. They bring both without hesitation. No upcharge, no awkward moment, just a better meal every night of the voyage. What is coming at number 11 surprises almost every first-time cruiser, and it involves a charge that quietly grows throughout the entire sailing. Number 11. Never ignore your onboard account until disembarkation. Morning. Every time you swipe your cruise card, a drink, a specialty dinner, a shore excursion, it adds to a running bill you will not see unless you look for it. Billing errors happen more often than cruise lines will acknowledge. Duplicate charges, package items billed separately, fees that should have been waived. Catching an error on day 3 is a 5-minute conversation at guest services. Catching it at 6 in the morning on disembarkation day, with 2,000 other passengers trying to leave the ship, is a completely different situation. Check your onboard account every 2 to 3 days through your cabin television or the cruise app. No Wi-Fi required on most lines. Review every line. If something looks wrong, go to guest services that same day. Number 10 is a mistake most passengers make the moment they step off the gangway at their first port, and it can result in a phone bill that arrives weeks later. The mistakes we are covering today are the ones that show up most consistently inside Cruise Navigator Pro. Members who came in after a sailing saying they had no idea a charge was building or that a policy had changed until the damage was already done. Knowing what not to do is half the protection. Having a structured system that catches the other half is what Cruise Navigator Pro was built for. More on that shortly. Number 10. Never leave cellular data on when you board the ship. International roaming charges apply the moment your phone connects to a signal outside your home network. And at sea, satellite data roaming on some carriers' bills at several dollars per megabyte. Passengers have returned from cruises to phone bills of $300, $500, even over $1,000 from data they did not intentionally use. The fix takes 30 seconds. Before you board, go into your phone settings and turn cellular data off entirely. Use the ship's local Wi-Fi network for the cruise app. It is free on most lines and does not require a paid internet package. In port, either stay on ship Wi-Fi near the gangway, purchase a local SIM card, or activate an international day pass from your carrier in advance. Do it before you board, not after the first port. Number 9 is something most passengers assume is optional, and skipping it is one of the most avoidable mistakes on this entire list. Number 9. Never take the safety drill lightly. Every passenger must complete a safety orientation before the ship leaves port. On most modern lines, this is done through a combination of in-app video and a brief check-in at your assigned muster station. Most passengers treat it as an administrative inconvenience and do it as quickly as possible. Here is what that attitude costs you. Not knowing where your muster station is, not knowing the emergency signal sequence, and not knowing where your life jacket is stored is information you genuinely hope never to need. But if you ever do need it, the quality of your attention during those 15 minutes is the only preparation you will have had. Complete the in-app portion as soon as you board. Check in at your muster station promptly. Take note of where it is and how to get there quickly. It takes 15 minutes. Do it properly. Coming up at number 8, a mistake that affects how much passengers pay for excursions on every single port day of their sailing. The mistakes coming up from here are the ones that hit your wallet hardest, and the ones most passengers only discover after the money is already gone. Number 8. Never book shore excursions without comparing independent operators. First, the shore excursion desk on board sells convenience and one guarantee. If the cruise line's excursion runs late, the ship waits. That guarantee comes at a cost, typically 20 to 40% more than the identical or comparable experience booked through a reputable independent operator before you sail. On a Caribbean itinerary with 4 port stops, that premium adds up to real money across the week. The move: research independent operators for each of your ports before you sail. Check how far the excursion location is from the ship. Build in a 90-minute return buffer. For mainstream Caribbean and Mediterranean ports where timing is well established, the ship waits guarantee is almost never tested. Book independently, save the premium, and use the difference on something you actually enjoy. Number 7 is a mistake most passengers make at the bar, and it is costing them more than they realize from day 1. Number 7. Never buy a drink package. Without doing the honest math first, drink packages are marketed as clear value. They are not always. The calculation depends entirely on how many drinks you will actually consume per day, including port days when you are off the ship for most of the morning and afternoon. On some lines, gratuities of 18 to 20% are added on top of the package price. The per-drink price cap, above which you pay the difference, has not kept pace with menu price increases on several lines. Before purchasing any package, calculate your honest daily consumption across every day of the sailing, including the days you will barely be on board. If the package breaks even based on realistic numbers, buy it. If it does not, do not. The honest math takes 10 minutes and could save you over $100. A couple on a 7-night Caribbean sailing purchased the premium drink package for both passengers, then calculated afterward that they had consumed roughly half the daily average needed to break even, paying nearly $300 more than if they had bought drinks individually. Number 6. Never complain without requesting a specific resolution. When something goes wrong on board, a noisy cabin, a billing error, a maintenance issue, a disappointing meal, most passengers either say nothing or deliver a complaint without asking for anything specific in return. Both approaches produce the same outcome. Nothing changes. Guest services staff on most major cruise lines have direct authority to apply onboard credits, arrange complimentary specialty dining, or offer other tangible resolutions. But they need something specific to respond to. Go to guest services in person, describe the issue calmly and specifically, and say, "I wanted to let you know about this and understand what the ship is able to do." That framing invites a resolution rather than a defensive response. The crew is professionally evaluated on passenger satisfaction scores. Give them a specific opportunity to improve yours, and they almost always will. Number 5 is something most passengers assume is fixed once they have booked, and it is one of the most consistently overlooked opportunities to save money before you ever step foot on the ship. 2 free checklists are in the pinned comment below covering exactly what to verify before your final cruise payment, including the checks that prevent the mistakes we are covering right now from happening in the first place. Most of the costly errors on this list are made in the booking window before the money becomes non-refundable. Grab them from the pinned comment. The full planning framework is inside Cruise Navigator Pro. Link in the description. Now, number 5. Number 5. Never assume the price you booked at is the lowest available. Cruise line pricing is dynamic. Fares fluctuate based on occupancy, promotional windows, and demand. And it is common for your exact cabin category to be listed at a lower price weeks or months after you booked. On most major lines, if the fare drops before final payment, you can request an adjustment to the lower price. After final payment, the difference typically converts to onboard credit. Neither happens automatically. You have to check, and you have to ask. Set a reminder to check your cabin category price every 2 to 3 weeks between booking and final payment. If you find a lower fare, call the cruise line directly and say, "I noticed the current fare for my cabin category is lower than what I booked. I would like to request a price adjustment." Most agents process it without hesitation. The passengers who never check simply never save. Number 4 involves a document most passengers sign without reading, and not reading it is one of the most financially consequential mistakes on this list. 4 mistakes left, and these are the 4 with the highest financial stakes. The passengers who know what is coming next board every cruise in a fundamentally stronger position than those who don't. Number 4. Never book a cruise without reading the cancellation policy for your specific fare. Most passengers read the general cancellation policy on the cruise line's website. That is not the cancellation policy that applies to their booking. Promotional fares, early booking rates, and sale fares frequently carry stricter cancellation terms than the standard policy, sometimes with penalties beginning 90 days before sailing or earlier. Passengers who cancel, assuming they are within the penalty-free window, discover they are not. The money is gone. The move. On the day you book, find the cancellation terms specific to your fare type, not the general policy page, but the terms attached to your confirmation. Write down the penalty-free cancellation deadline. Write down the final payment deadline. Put both in your calendar with a reminder 1 week ahead of each. That is the entirety of what separates the passengers who protect themselves and the ones who lose their deposit. Number 3 is something most passengers do on their first day that quietly affects the quality of their experience for the entire voyage, and almost nobody connects the two. Number 3. Never skip making dining reservations on embarkation day. On any time dining, the flexible option most modern cruisers choose, the most popular dinner windows between 6 and 8 in the evening fill up fast on sea days. Passengers who assume they can simply arrive and be seated are the ones waiting 40 minutes in a holding area, while the couples who reserved through the app on embarkation afternoon are already seated and ordering. Dining reservations on most lines are free, take 5 minutes, and can be made for every evening of the voyage in a single session. On embarkation day, after lunch at the main dining room, open the cruise app or visit the dining desk and book your preferred dinner time for every sea day. It costs nothing, and it removes the single most common daily frustration on any cruise ship. Number 2 is a mistake most passengers make that directly determines the quality of service they receive for the entire voyage, and it is made in the first 10 minutes on board. Number 2. Never treat the crew as staff rather than people. This one is not about a policy or a fee. It is about something more important. The crew members on your cruise ship work long contracts, often 8 or 9 months at sea, far from their families, serving thousands of passengers. The passengers who receive the best service consistently across every department of the ship are almost never the ones who demand it. They are the ones who learn their cabin attendant's name and use it, who thank their waiter by name after a good dinner, who greet the bartender the same way they would greet someone they are glad to see. That level of basic human warmth is rarer than it should be on a cruise ship, and crew members notice it immediately. You do not have to go out of your way. You simply have to see the person in front of you as a person. The service that follows is not transactional. It is genuine. And now, number 1, the mistake that sits quietly behind every other mistake on this list. Number 1. Never board a cruise without a plan for what it will actually cost you. The single most common source of post-cruise disappointment is not bad weather, a missed port, or a disappointing meal. It is a final bill that is significantly higher than the passenger expected when they booked. Not because anything went wrong, because the passenger boarded with a base fare in their head and no plan for the 40 to 70% that typically gets added on top of it through gratuities, drinks, Wi-Fi, specialty dining, excursions, and the 100 small purchases the ship's environment is designed to encourage. The move is straightforward, and it takes 1 hour before you ever leave home. Sit down with your booking confirmation and build a complete line-item budget. Write down the base fare, add the daily gratuity rate multiplied by the number of days and number of passengers, add Wi-Fi if you need it, add 1 drink package if the math supports it, add a realistic excursion budget per port, add 2 specialty dinners if you plan to use them, total it. If that number represents good value for what you are getting, you are ready to board. If it does not, you have the information to make a different decision before the money becomes non-refundable. The passengers who do this arrive at the ship relaxed, prepared, and in control. The ones who skip it arrive at the ship and spend the entire voyage reacting to surprises. Same sailing, completely different experience. Before the next video, Cruise Navigator Pro is a structured membership community built for cruisers who want a complete planning framework, not just tips. Inside, we break down cruise contracts by line so you know exactly what you agreed to before something goes wrong. We cover insurance strategy in real terms, which policies actually protect you, and which have exclusions that matter when you need them. There is a full module on fee structures, drink package math, gratuity rates by line, and how to evaluate the true all-in cost of any sailing before your deposit becomes non-refundable. Once you are inside, head straight to the Classroom tab. That is where the full planning framework lives, organized by topic so you can work through exactly what applies to your specific sailing. Members tell us consistently that the expensive mistakes they avoided were not from lack of effort. They just did not have a structured system when the decisions were being made. No long-term commitment. Link is in the description. And if this video gave you genuine value, the next step is this: 15 mistakes to avoid on a cruise ship. Everything we covered today tells you what not to do on board. That video goes deeper on the decisions most passengers get wrong before they ever set foot on the ship, including the booking mistakes that cost the most and are the hardest to undo. It is queued up right now. I will see you there.